My first tip for styling your houseplants is to group plants together that have different foliage. So this could be different shaped leaves, it could be different colours. But if you avoid putting plants together that look really similar, and you instead contrast the display by using varying plants, each plant just really stands out. You can also vary the sizes of the plants that you put together. For example, you could put some larger plants at the back and then smaller plants at the front. You can also display plants at different heights because this varies things and keeps the display interesting. There are lots of cool ways that you can vary the heights of your plants. You could even put your plant on a stack of books. You can also use plant stands, and there are a huge variety of different plant stands out there that you can use. So there's one for every taste. And these are great at not only changing the heights of your plants, but they're also really good for just raising them up so they can get a bit more light as well. You could have some plants on plant stands, and then you could place some other types of plants in front of them on the floor. Just get really creative with your display. Another thing I like to do is just arrange my plants on tables. You can get all sorts of different sizes of tables, small ones, big ones, and yeah, you can make a little arrangement on there. And when making your arrangements, another tip is to group your plants in odd numbers. And it's been shown that odd numbers are more pleasing to the eye than even numbers. So when you combine this with my other tips, having your plants at different heights, having different types of foliage, have an odd number, you'll start to see your display come together quite nicely. You can also display your plants with other home decor items, things like art, ornaments, books, whatever it is that you have in your home that you would like to have on display. You can combine these with your plants and make little displays. And this is another great way of varying the textures in your displays as well. You can put different materials together, different colours, different textures. And also don't forget to vary the heights of your objects as well. One of my favourite ways to display plants is definitely a plant shelf, and you can get free standing shelves, or you can attach plant shelves to the walls, whatever suits your situation. But plant shelves are really good. You can chop and change them all the time. I change mine around so much, and yeah, it's also a really good way of getting plants up higher. It's great for displaying hanging plants, and it's also a really good space-saving technique because you've got your plants going vertically, therefore freeing up more space, possibly for a few more plants on the floor level. Another really cool way to spice up your plant is to simply experiment with decorative pots, and decorative pots come in so many different shapes, sizes, colours, designs. You can just slip these over your nursery pot so you can keep your plant in its plastic nursery pot, but you'd be surprised how much a decorative pot really changes a plant. I'm always changing mine up, and every time I do it I think to myself it looks like a completely different plant. So this is another good tip if you're trying not to buy too many plants but you'd like a bit of change in your collection. Just try changing up those cover pots. And you can also make really nice displays with pots too. You could choose to display similar pots together with different plants in. As I've done here, I've used these 3 similar basket weave pots but in different sizes, and then just displayed them in a row. Another really simple and low cost tip is to use plant hangers. I really like the macrame plant hangers. These macrame plant hangers are really good for displaying plants. You can get them in all sorts of different colours. They're very readily available online and they aren't very expensive, and you can get lots of different designs too. If you're creative, you could have a go at making your own, but personally I just buy mine because I'm just going to make a dog's dinner of it if I try to make it. But yeah, I really do like these. You can get ones with tassels, without tassels, and they're really good. They're easy to take the plant in and out of too when you want to water it. Another great way to increase that feeling of coziness in your indoor jungle is to use lighting, and to create a really cozy atmosphere, I'd recommend having more than one source of lighting. For example, if you just have the big light in your room on, it's not going to be very cozy. So what I like to do is I like to have lots of different kind of nice cozy lamps on, and I kind of position them in places where they're near to my plants. And yeah, it just creates a really lovely cozy atmosphere. You can of course also use grow lights, that way the plants are getting some benefit as well. And this is a really good way to kind of highlight certain plants in your space, especially if you'd like to position some plants in kind of dark spaces. Grow lights are really good for that. I'd recommend that you just have a lot of fun experimenting with styling your houseplants. There's no right or wrong way to do it, and you don't have to stick to one style either. I know you often see all this stuff on social media where people are kind of sticking to one aesthetic. You don't have to do that. Go ahead and experiment, just have fun with it. I often try things out, find out I don't like them, and it's fine, I just try something else. And I kind of enjoy the experimentation of discovering what I like and what I don't like. I do tend to find that my tastes kind of change over time, so that's why a lot of these tips can be really useful. If you also like to change your displays up a lot, you can change up the decor items that you've got with your plants. That is a really simple way to change up your display. And as I mentioned, you can also change the cover pots of your plants too. That's a really easy way of freshening up your display. And yeah, just moving plants around really and finding new ways to display them. I personally really enjoy creating displays on windowsills and near to windows, because you get the light coming through and there's just something really nice, especially in the mornings when the sun is rising and you get that kind of light shining through. It's really nice. When you're styling your house plants, don't forget to pay attention to which plants need which conditions. It's easy to kind of lose sight of how much light a plant needs, that kind of thing, what kind of environment it needs to be in, because we want to put it somewhere where it's aesthetically pleasing. I've definitely done that before, and usually the plant suffers for it. So remember to try and think about what your plant actually needs too. So if it's a plant that wants highlight, make sure you don't put it in a dark spot. Similarly, if it's a low light plant, you don't want to be putting that one straight in the window. So definitely be mindful of that. Another really cool way I like to display my plants is by creating a propagation station. And yeah, you can really have fun with this one. You can buy decorative glass containers. You could just collect your old kitchen jars as well. Anything works really, but if you arrange them all in a little kind of propagation station, it looks quite cool, and you are also getting lots of free plants too. Thanks for watching today's video. You might also enjoy one of these videos. Check them out, and I'll see you in the next video.